10 Rules of Forever. Warning: NSFW, SPG, explicit language, everything. Alright? This is part of 100 Meaningful Days. The Rules of Forever. Number 1. There is no forever. Edit: if forever is a mathematical concept, it will resemble infinity on the positive side, but that is simply beyond any number. Hence, it is not a number. In fact, any number divided by x as x approaches infinity is 0, which proves the same point from the perspective of materiality. Therefore, there is no forever. Number 2. The person who promises forever will not stay very long. Number 3. The person you don't want to stay forever is the one who eventually does. Number 4. Forever is not anchored on the physical. If it does, it will not last 10 years. Even less. Number 5. Forever is not a payment. Therefore, don't expect he who asks for sex to stick around paying you forever. After sex, he will move on to the next forever. Number 6. Women desire forever. Men desire to be drunk or be left alone doing nothing in his nothing space, doing exactly what he wants. Nothing. If your forever requires men to be shopping with you or decorating the room or washing clothes on a Sunday, then it may last a bit but not forever. Number 7. Forever is a mighty long time. Take it one day at a time. Saves you the fucking headache. Number 8. Forever is overrated. Don't think of forever as holding hands, beach walks, and kissing in the dark. Forever is fixing the hole in the ceiling. Forever is driving at the middle of the night to a hospital because your child is sick with asthma or dengue fever. Forever is sitting hours and days inside the ICU, wishing to God that if he fucking exists, please take my spouse home already to stop his or her pain. That's her forever. Number 9. There is forever for a person who doesn't look at you physically, but looks to your soul, because the soul is forever. You might want to check the groups for the blind, else you are stuck with promises. Take it one day at a time. Don't give up your fucking virginity on the first date. Wait until the wedding is over if possible. Better yet, don't rush to marriage at all. Number 10. Finally, there is forever if your partner respects you with a love that is once in a lifetime. It cannot be found anywhere, everywhere, all the time. But one day you will see eternity and he or she will pass your life by. And then slowly and surely you will realize that this person is not just there for a short period of time or until he gets inside your pants. No, he will stay for a long time. And then the minutes move to hours, and hours moves to days, and months to years. And then you realize this guy is my forever. At least someone who will be with me for 30 years or 40 or a lifetime. Now sometimes you miss him or her. Sometimes you're looking at the other side, but he is right there beside you, before you. And then it's over. He's gone forever. So when you know it is certain that one unusual person is passing you by, like a comet in the sky, you have to pay attention, because that moment will pass by and you will have missed that person who is your forever. Now after this, please stop hashtagging forever I'm going to kill you. I will literally strangle you until your whole system is devoid of oxygen. Hashtag forever. Day 44. 100 Meaningful Days. Life is like baseball. You don't have to hit every ball that is thrown to you. You have to wait for the right moment when the ball is within your striking zone. When it does, you give it all you've got. Then home run is inevitable. This little analogy was given to us by Benjamin Graham, the mentor of Warren Buffett, and he applied this to investing. And now I'm realizing that it also applies to everything in life, especially about opportunities and the things that come your way. There are many opportunities that come your way every day, right? You can go to work in this place or work in another country, or you can pursue one person or move to another place. There are many opportunities, there are many options that always lie before you every single day. I mean, literally as you walk your path, every step is always filled with 3 or 4 or 5 options, and in your head the options are much more. I mean, especially if you are a talented person, if you are a person with many skills and many talents, the options are so vast, and there's a lot of things that are going on in your head. But you have to keep it down and keep it to yourself, keep it together, I should say, because many options, if you pursue, will either stretch you thin or pluck you, according to Rizal, from your normal space of growth. And then maybe you will be okay there for some time, and then you'll not be okay again. I know this is counterproductive, especially when I talk about pursuing your dreams and then trying to really look for ways to improve yourself, getting out of the box, and all that. But then what I'm saying here is that while we say that, we have to look at all the options and look at your path and choose the most correct path. It's like playing chess also. There's so many millions of combinations just on the second move or the third move, but you cannot pursue them all. You can only play one path, and that one path is going to be either taking you to the end game, to a winning game, or taking you to a complicated middle game and eventually a losing end game. So life is just like that. So the way you move day to day, minute to minute, hour to hour, is you look at your goal, you look at where you are eventually going to be, based on your skills, based on your talent set, based on what you want really in life, and then compare that to what you have and what you can still learn. Especially the most important component there is factor there is your family, where you want to stay for the next 30 or 40 years. Sometimes that is a factor, right? And all the things just becomes they become clear to you, and sooner or later you just wait there and wait for the perfect zone of striking force or something. But of course, on the other hand, you have to make that swing. You cannot just wait there forever, trying to weigh options always. And then by the time you get up one day, you look at yourself, you're already 100 years old. You cannot do that. Of course, you have to take a firm stand, and then as when you have analyzed enough choices and enough options, then you pursue that with all your might, day after day, hour to hour, minute to minute, and that's going to be your path. That's going to be your mission in life. So good luck with that, and I just hope that you find what makes you happy and you pursue that which makes you happy for your lifetime. this is another phone in. No, it's not. It's not phone in anymore. I think we should call it like a message in or PM in or whatever that is. A message from my friends, younger friends, who asked me about why is it so easy to tell a lie than to tell the truth. I think she's referring to, I don't know, I don't want to assume, but especially girls are always saying it in the context of the guys, telling lies in order, not to hurt people maybe or something like that. And I think that is indeed my answer. A lot of people are saying, based on my experience with other people, not me, okay, it's easier to lie or than to tell the truth, because they would assume that by telling the truth they would hurt the person. Then all lies are eventually discovered, and eventually that person whom you have lied to eventually discovers that all the time you've been lying. So all the things that you've said, all the goodness that you've shown, if you've been together for like 1,000 days or 2,000 days or 10,000 days, that would not be counted. What will be counted is the day that he or she discovers that the lie was there. And it's as if, as a human being, we stop believing a person, and you would assume, on the other hand, that everything that was told you, they are all lies. So that's why, Saint Augustine, one of the early Christian fathers, said that for him, and he was regarded to be one of the early Christian fathers who are the authorities in the church before, right? So when he says something, it's believed in ancient times. So for him, he said that the worst kind of sin is the sin of lying, the sin of untruthfulness. And the reason for that is what is highest faculty in man is that when you corrupt it, it becomes the worst of it. In Latin, or I don't know, is it Latin or Greek, but it's better sounding. It says corruptio optima pessimi. The corruption of the best is the worst. So what is best in man is the faculty of thinking, the faculty of the intellect. And the intellect's object is the truth. Wherefore, if you say that what is true is untrue, or if you say something that is not, or if you add something to something that is not existing, then it becomes a lie. So that's why he says that since the best faculty in man is the intellect, and the intellect knows the truth, if willingly he says a lie or he tells a lie, then that is the worst kind of sin. So really it is in this context that we look at the kind of hurt that is given to a person when a person lies, especially from the context of divinity, from the context of God, wherein he says through Jesus Christ, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Right? So he who lives in God, Christ, should not tell a lie. However, there are times in your life when sometimes it's not about just telling the truth, right? It's also sometimes not telling the whole truth. When you don't say the whole truth, is that lying? Is that something negative? Like for example, when you ask a person, am I fat? And then you say, well, you're not fat, you're a little bit chubby on the side but not fat. actually you're not really saying the whole truth. Because if you say always the whole truth, that you're obese, whatever, that will hurt his or her feelings. And instead of, gaining his friendship, or instead of being charitable to him, then you make him depressed and all that. So sometimes it's easier for people to tell lies, or not really to tell lies, but not to tell the whole truth in order not to hurt the person in the long term. Especially if these things are just white lies. Especially if these things are eventually not going to be discovered by you. Like, for example, about the weight and all that. Of course, in the end, it's really you and you know the truth. Sometimes it's even best to say, what do you think? How much do you weigh? Right? It's always sometimes best to be scientific about it, because when you say maganda ba ako, for example, am I beautiful or am I handsome, you don't have a way of placing that in numbers, right? If a person would just be able to, at the flick of a hand, get a number or something and say, yes, I think in a scale of 1 to 10, I would say that the average, it's just my opinion, your average beauty is about 7.293 over 10. Of course, you cannot just say that, because there must be a basis for that. And maybe in the future, AI will already have an analysis of all the people who are considered to be good looking or beautiful, and then compare everything to that ideal beautiful, and then give you a grade or something. But as of now, nothing exists of that sort, right? Of course, in weight, there is. You have the BMI, you can say, hey, you're obese level 2 or whatever, right? So there's always a way to do that. So yeah, I think in the end, it's really something about charity, although sometimes that charity is misplaced. You tell lies, or maybe you don't say the whole truth because you're afraid that it might hurt the person. It might make him, depressed, or make him worry or whatever. Like, I know of a certain person in our place. My mother told me that this lady is an old lady, about 75 or 80 years old already. And she didn't know that her son, who's living in Manila, was rushed to the hospital. And the other children did not tell her because it might upset her, and then eventually give her a heart attack or something like that. And so what happens is that they just told her, she's okay, he's at home and all that. So sometimes in that context, then maybe telling lies is not telling a lie, or maybe not telling the whole truth as you should be, is in fact a work of charity. And in that case, since the will is above the intellect, because the will moves the intellect, then love is always above truth, for that matter. Although that's really very philosophically incorrect, right? Because the truth is always the truth, no matter how hard you say it. But the truth will remain the truth, and if you believe it to be lie, to believe it to be false, then that's a mistake, right? That's a sin. So that Saint Augustine is correct. But sometimes in application to certain circumstances, then the telling of a lie, although it is sinful for that matter, it is evil per se, or a mistake per se, or a mistake in itself, it becomes less of a mistake. It does not become correct, it does not become right, but it becomes less of a mistake because of consideration of charity, of love for another person. That's just my take. I don't know, but if it comes to the idea of telling a lie because to win over a person, saying that I don't have a girlfriend when in fact you have a girlfriend, that's really a lie, and that's a mistake, right?